What's up, Nomeo? Woo! Woo! We're here. Different camera angle. I got 3 screens now. We're gonna pick different song to start with. I'm good. Sorry for the late start, man. Let's get yeah, brother. Work. Appreciate you joining while you're working, man. Love me my pecan pie. You guys know I love my pecan pie. Man, having 3 screens is cool as shit, dude. Bit of chicken fry. Cold beer on a Friday. Let me fix that. Perfect. There you go. Yeah, this 3 screen shit's cool as fuck. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, I've had 2 for a long time, and having 3 now is like, it's just crazy. I've always wanted 3. Don't know why. I think this is dope. I know. So I got the screen that you guys are seeing over here. I got you guys in front of me. And I got OBS over there. So it's like I'm on every screen. I'm just like, oh, that's a lot of beer. Just or a double. Thanks for lurking, bud. Uh, now I picked this song specifically. And if you know, you know. If you know, you know. It's for this like after the 2 verses, there's this 3rd verse that I feel is appropriate for the channel. I don't give a shit if we go on YouTube and mute it. This part right here coming up. Yeah. One of the best parts of the song. Minus obviously this chorus part, which obviously is great. I just don't make music like this anymore, guys. Just don't make music anymore like this. Whew. Man, what a good workout today. I saw my number 1 and my number 2 at the gym today. Boys. I tell you, man. Ooh, man, that was hot, man. They are just smoke shows. My number 1, you could definitely tell she's an older chick. And God, boy, I would let her make me a sandwich. Ooh. We're joined by Double. Oh, there you go. That's button. Morning, Double. He's muted. He's probably talking to his chat, which is all good. He's got his own channel to navigate. Yeah, good. Yeah, you can smile. Go ahead, smile, bro. It's okay. There you go. So what's going on, everybody? Whoever's here, let me know. I know Nomeo, you know, you're at working. I volunteer for my local VFW. Oh, that's dope. I just saw that. That's dope as shit. How is that, man? What kind of stuff do you deal with on a daily basis if you're still listening, Nomeo? What kind of stuff do you do for the VFW? Let chat know. God, my hands are so sore. I have 2 topics I want to talk about today, guys. While I wait for everybody to come in, I kind of want a good discussion on it. I want to talk about uh talking about those those triggers and stressors, not so much what they are, but more so how you feel when you're experiencing them, and kind of like some good habits to try out to kind of like cool them down and maybe work through them in a more productive way. And I also want to talk about what's been going on with the VA in a couple of states, about all these layoffs and problems with funding and all these things going on right now with the VA, which I think is crucial for some of these just getting the proper care and the proper staffing to get people seen and dealt with. So I think those are the two topics I kind of want to talk about today. But we'll wait for people to come in because I kind of want a group conversation on this. But if you guys have some thoughts already for whoever's watching right now, please start throwing them in. We'll talk about them right now if we can get into it. But we're just waiting for people to show up. So
Yeah.
oh, there's the double.
Yeah, I was muted from my stream. It's
Of
okay.
course. Yeah, of course. I figured.
But no, I mean, you getting into what you were talking about, right? With what do you do when things get hot and heated? You get pissed off, and the stressors get insane. Um, like you and I absolutely love you, brother, and I'm so glad that I got to spend all that time one on one, just hanging out, talking. Like
Yeah.
it was amazing to be able to sit and talk to someone that knows how my brain functions without even pushing it, without even having to make you see it. You understood the way that my brain, because your brain's the same way. So it was really awesome and relaxing to be in an environment where someone was able to fully understand why I say the things I say and how I say them. And I'm sure that's vice versa, is you were able to just relax a little bit more than you normally would because you had that one-on-one environment.
Yeah, of course, and that's actually one of the main things I think is a good productive way to kind of deal with those triggers is surrounding yourself with the right people. Like obviously, business people talk about all the time, and obviously from your social networking and your marketing perspective, it's like you don't surround yourself with people that are doing bad, and not necessarily bad in life, but just like doing bad things, right? Like, so if you want to get clean, you don't surround yourself with druggies. If you want to get sober, you don't surround yourself with alcoholics, right? If you want to get healthy, you surround yourself with healthy people. If you want to, if you want to get sober, you surround yourself with people that probably don't drink. You want to get clean, you surround yourself with people that don't do drugs and probably take a healthier approach to life, right? So it's like, it's great that we have this community and it's growing, and the more it grows, the more people we'll be able to surround each other with that have the same perspective, the same, or similar, maybe not the same, but similar circumstances in life. Hold on. You take over. My daughter's calling me. Hey, baby girl. Oh boy.
Yeah, good morning, Roach. Good.
I can. I'll bring it in a little bit. I'm doing something right now. I can't go right now, but I'll come in like about an hour or so. All right. Bye. Kids forgetting their laptops. Kids.
Oh, I thought she was calling just to say she loves you.
She did that on Sunday, which was, again, she was at church, so I'm assuming they had like an exercise, and she called me to thank me for things that I usually don't get thanked for, which was really nice. So, but
Gotcha.
back to being on topic, like, yeah, like you want to surround yourself with people, and the fact that this charity is growing and we're getting more veterans in here, I know people are a little shy, which again, it's just it's the game, right? So it's like we're usually pretty standoffish, especially we feel like, I don't know, connecting with people is hard for people that have gotten out the military, regardless of what you did, because it's you're coming from two different worlds,
It's a
right? You don't,
different world, man. It's
yeah.
different people.
Mm-hmm.
It's not those people you've been around for the past
Mm-hmm.
however long. So,
Mm-hmm. And we have a specific way of talking, and there's a hardness almost and a toughness to most military personnel. I'm not saying all, but most. And to go back into the civilian world and try to having conversations with certain people, and with all the things going on, politically and in the world, the softness, the wokeness, all the other bullshit, all the noise. That's what I call it. It's just noise. Honestly, it's just noise.
Yeah,
Uh,
agreed.
it's like people just want to be heard for whatever reason and think they can't, like they can't have people talk back to them or have their own opinions. And God forbid you contradict somebody, and you're the worst. You're the worst human being in the world. But so we're a little standoffish, a little shy, but being a veteran organization and having veterans here, don't be afraid. Everybody in the community, don't be afraid. Reach out. Obviously, the board members, that's what we're here for. We're here to get your toes wet, introduce you to people, introduce you to whoever's here and whoever's active. Right? Be active, and surround yourself, and don't be afraid to reach out to any of us or anybody in the community. There's a bunch of different chats in Discord for specific branches, and don't be afraid to just say hi, introduce yourself, and fucking I don't know, man. Just if you're feeling some type of way about something, talk to somebody. I hate talking, but I'm here doing this because I know that is what people need. People need a voice. People need a leader. People need somebody to like show.
They need people that they would look at and go, "This guy's not going to say shit."
Right.
To step up and go, "It's okay."
Yeah.
It's okay, and it really is. It's okay to talk. Like it, even if it's one-on-one. Like Beard and I didn't really have personal conversations, but we had very productive conversations. Like shit got done every time we talked, and it wasn't, did it start off as us just bullshitting, talking about gym, talking about the different things like that? Yeah, but then as it went further along, we were able to get into the nitty gritty of where we both stand within AGB, where we both stand within our own brands, within who we are as people, and grow. And that's not something that I take lightly. So it's one of those things that having someone that you can reach out to, like I can call him right now and be like, "Hey, bro, I'm not doing well." As I'm sitting here talking to him, and he would end it and put me on the phone and call me and be like, "Okay, hey, what's actually going on? Let's talk." If there was that situation, but that's just one of those things that's how you find your people. And being able to open up and spend that time talking is the hard part. The easy part is finding that actual person. And that's, you just have to look for them.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. If you guys are just tuning in, the conversation is basically just we're just touching on finding and talking about productive ways to kind of deal with some of the triggers. And Blue Falcon, that's awesome to hear. And keep it up. Don't stop. I know shit gets kind of rough, and the darkness kind of consumes you sometimes, but we're here, right? The community's here. Individually, we're all here, and that's awesome to hear, dude. Just having that purpose. So that's ultimately what AGB is. Yes, it's a charity. Yes, we build PCs. Yes, we try to help veterans. Yes, all that good stuff. But ultimately, the goal is to get veterans together and give them purpose, either purpose in helping out and volunteering, purpose in becoming content creators, and hopefully an ambassador. If you guys put in the time, be active, taking over the channel, telling your story, but it's giving you something to do besides thinking and being stuck in those thoughts, in those triggers, and letting the stress ultimately consume you.
And I mean, one way that Bearded and I both fully agree on and fully push is gym. Exactly. I didn't even have to say it. He knew what I was talking about. Is put that frustration into the training.
Yeah.
Use one fuel to use it as fuel to make yourself better.
Yeah.
Make yourself a better person, make yourself stronger, make yourself feel better, because believe it or not, fun fact, Bearded knows this. Fun fact for those of you that don't know this, that 20 minutes of hard work in the gym releases the same amount of endorphins as sex or meth. Fun fact.
You guys can do 20 minutes of gym and 20 minutes of sex. Imagine all the endorphins you're going to get, guys. I'm just saying, just a healthy tip right there.
Hey, just don't do the math.
Yeah.
And you get the same high out of those two things. You know.
And Double's right. Double's right. I know we preach fitness because obviously we're big fitness guys. Obviously, Double competes. I just work out to just not fucking destroy people. Was that Zen? Yeah, that was a Zen. I ran out of Alps, so I'm back to Zen. I'm not giving up sex, my guy. Meth, maybe. Sex, no. Give up meth. Have double the
Give
sex.
up meth.
It's the same
Don't
high.
give up sex.
20 minutes, you get 2.5 minutes. Take it or leave it. I got a pill that'll help you out. Get to like 5 minutes. Get double your time, buddy.
Hey, listen, you got to be able to do that.
Yeah. But yeah, listen, guys. The gym, one, you're going to get healthy, right? Regardless of how hard you work or what your fitness level is, you're going to get healthy. It's good for your cardio. And I just said it. I go to the gym. Yeah, I like looking good. I like being fit just because I don't want to be fat because I have a job to do and I ultimately want to do more in my job and I want to be able to save if something goes down. I want to be able to carry people. I want to be able to save them, obviously, right? So it's a professional thing. But my number one thing in the gym is my mental health. And what Double's talking about, those endorphins, that dopamine hit, all those chemicals in your brain, you learn to focus, you learn discipline, you learn routine, which is all the military guys, all you veterans. I don't give a shit what you say. All the veterans are used to routine. Wake up call, chow, PT, training, lunch, dinner, getting out late even though they said they're going to get you out early, and then rinse and repeat, 24/7, 365. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like routine. It's building that. You're almost building that same life you used to have, and it grounds you. It's a physical thing, but it's the greatest thing about the gym or any kind of workout program that you do. Going for walks, it doesn't matter. It's creating the routine and creating that mental, just
30 minutes of physical
grounding.
exercise, whether it's walking, whether it's whatever, 30 minutes a day. I know the doctors say that it's healthy for you, but they don't explain why. Like
Right.
it will help you mentally, it will help you physically, it'll help curb cravings, it'll help fix a lot of things that will make you happier in the long run. And like that's why whenever I coach or I work with people, and the first thing I have them do is, okay, every time you eat, when you get done eating, go for a 10-minute walk.
Yep.
Why? Because it promotes gut health. It'll actually cause your metabolism to kickstart and you'll actually break down the food. You'll feel better. You won't feel as bloated and gross. And you're actually going to be using that food as fuel.
Yeah.
And your body's going to feel better. So you're going to feel better. That's the first thing that I do with anybody that I coach is the first week or so, I just get them in the habit of walking for 10 minutes after they eat every time. And that may sound crazy, but it's my approach. It's more of a holistic approach to coaching.
Yeah.
And after that week, if they've done it right, they're coming back begging for more information. If they didn't do it right, they're like, well, you suck. You're terrible at this.
Right. Well,
And that's just the way that it happens.
if you guys, if you guys have been listening to Peeps and how he's been, treating his diet, when we were in Lou Fest, Peeps was like, he asked for some advice, and I gave it to him, right? I gave him what I believe is the best way to jumpstart your metabolism and shred weight, right? And people think, oh, I'm going to intermittent fast, or I'm not going to eat, or I'm going to eat salads. No. At the end of the day, we're animals, right? We're mammals, but we're animals. And we have genetic coding that's been passed down for millions of years. Obviously, things have changed with food development and science and all that stuff, but ultimately, there is a basic foundation to the human body. You need to eat some kind of protein, right? And the best way to kickstart protein is just eat meat, whether it's chicken, fish, steak. I love red meat. I'm a fucking carnivore through and through.
Facts.
I can eat eggs like they're going out of style. I'll eat them anyway. I don't usually do poached because I just don't care for it. But like, give me a fried egg and a steak, oh, girl. Woo! But essentially, you're supposed to eat when you're hungry, right? Your body's literally, it literally tells you, hey, feed me.
It's the built-in mechanism.
Right. And so it's not so much, it goes hand in hand what you eat, but it also goes in and hand on how much you eat, right? So if you're trying to shed weight, calories in, calories out, right? And again, guys, this goes back to mental health, right? I'll show you. But calories in, calories out. If you consume like too much calories, you're just going to grow. If you consume the right amount of calories, you'll just maintain. But if you consume less calories than what that you actually need, you'll start losing weight. And believe it or not, if you eat 5 to 6 times a day, every 2 to 3 hours, you'll shred weight. As long as you're consuming less, again, calorie deficit, I'm pretty sure everybody's heard about calorie deficit. If you guys, do that, and the numbers are estimated numbers. If you work out like me and double, times your body weight by 14, right? Times your body weight by 14. That is the calories to maintain approximately. Subtract 500, boom, you're in a calorie deficit. Easy money.
Yeah, like I said, I my BMR, mainly because I spend a lot of time, figuring all this stuff, getting all this stuff tested, all of that. My BMR, meaning if I don't do anything and I sit on my ass all day right here in this chair, I burn 2,112 calories. Which that's pretty crazy for a 36-year-old man.
Right. And then if you
and bearded, probably close to that as well.
Probably. Yeah, I'm probably
because of the
too.
muscle mass. Because muscle weighs more than fat, it takes more
to maintain. Correct. And that's the thing, right? So you'll actually, the more muscle mass you have, the better your blood flow will be. So you'll have
the higher your metabolism will be as well.
Right. And so again, you guys struggling with blood pressure, cardiovascular stuff, increase your muscle mass and you'll see that stuff start dropping. I guarantee it. It's science. It's science. But then if you guys, again, here's some more numbers. If you guys, again, always times it by your body weight. If you guys work out moderately, and by moderately, I mean like 3 to 4 times a week, right? Intensity doesn't matter. This is all approximate.
You're just moving 3 days a week.
Right. You're going from 5 to 6 or 5 to 7 to 3 to 4. You times it by 15, right? And do the same math. Whatever number you get, subtract 500, boom, calorie deficit. If you like the way where you're at and you just want to tone up, boom, just again, whatever that number is, consume those calories and that's your maintaining. You want to bulk, add 500, boom. There's your diet in simple forms. Obviously, there's macros and other crazy shit that people calculate. I'm not doing that. Double, can go into that stuff, but I'm not doing that. And if you guys work out once or twice a week, times it by 16, right? Times it by 16, right? And that's it. Add or subtract 500 or eat what you got if you like how you look, but, and the way that ties into mental health, easy. It's a routine. You're creating discipline.
Because that's the last thing to go away, Falcon.
Let's talk about stomach. No matter what I do, I got you. There are aminos and peptides that you can take that are readily available that can help you with that. But again, you still have to put in the work, right? You still ultimately have to put in the work. A lot of the gut stuff, a lot of your stomach, a lot of your tire is usually due to inflammation and how you're eating, right? So a lot of the things that you can do to decrease your inflammation is my favorite compound. I put double on it, queens on it. I'm putting everybody that I know that suffers from any kind of mild pain or any kind of inflammation stuff. I'm telling people about it. I'm pushing it. I'm not a medical professional. So if you really want, go get your
And it works. It works fantastic, I will say.
Consult a sports doctor, not a regular doctor, or sports doctor, and get your blood work in. Test, get your test tested, get your vitamins, your minerals, get everything tested, but the compound is called BPC 157. Google it. Don't take my word for it. Google it. Do your own research. Joe Rogan's talked about it. Andrew Huberman has talked about it. All the major
Joe Rogan.
Yep. All the sports athletes take it.
There's pro athletes that it's part of their regimen daily before they go practice.
Yeah.
Like it's gotten to the point now where if it's done regularly, it actually replaces the cortisol shots that we took as let's call them kids now because we were kids then, but we
Mhm.
didn't think it. It replaces those cortisol shots that we would take that were painful as hell because it actually helps promote and heal those issues that are screwed up on you, and it doesn't hurt, doesn't cause problems, anything like that. And
Yeah.
a lot of pro athletes have started doing that as a daily regimen. Then before a game, get their knees stabbed up with a bunch of cortisol,
Mhm. And mind
which
you,
is
if you
far
go
healthier.
yeah, and if you go to a sports doctor and they do provide BPC and you have knee issues or you have shoulder issues, guess what they're going to do? Inject it directly, just like a cortisol shot. They're going to inject it directly into those ligaments, into those muscles with a smaller needle. It doesn't
Hmm.
leave. It doesn't leave like sometimes when you inject things, it leaves like a little knot, a little buildup. It goes away because it's just so smooth. And if you guys are scared about like side effects, again, do the research. It has almost no side effects. All its side effects is feeling good, right? And if you guys are wondering, a foreign compound they're putting into my body, no, your body already produces it. It's produced in your gut. The core of your health system is in your gut. It starts there. It starts with what you eat, what you process, how it's processing. Your gut and digestive system is probably the most important thing when it comes to health that you have. And so BPC is something that's produced in your body already. If your gut health is poor, that means you're not producing enough BPC because of diet or whatever, other medical issues you might have. But my buddy I had a friend that came to me that had diagnosed IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, um,
Hmm.
and was on a bunch of medication. Heard the Joe Rogan podcast with Andrew Huberman talking about BPC. I then told him, "Oh yeah, I take that stuff. It's great. Here's the website. Get the pill version because you want it directly in your gut. You want it to disperse in your gut because again, it can be injectable. I take the injectable for my muscles. I told him to take the pills. In a month, he cut out his medication. He no longer has IBS and literally lives on BPC. And his gut. And I told him like, listen, don't consume your 30 gallons of buffalo sauce anymore. Change your diet a little bit, but
Yeah.
this will help you." And he's like, "Bro, I've ordered like 500 bottles. Like I'm this thing's great. I feel great." He's working out again. He used to mountain bike. He said he stopped mountain biking because of his knees
Great.
and all.
Good morning.
He's in there, So this compound is great. Another compound you guys can take is any of the morellin compounds, your suramorellin, your ipamorellin, your tesamorellin. That stuff, specifically tesamorellin, which is a peptide. It's not a steroid. It's a peptide. Specifically burns visceral fat, which is the fat around your organs. So that's obviously really good. And it focuses on burning that tire around your stomach. That's what it's known for. And I think again, very little to no side effects. The one major side effect that I saw when I took it was irritation at the injection site. That's the only side effect I felt from it. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I had. I had a little bit of irritation around, like right there on the stomach or
Yeah.
wherever. If it was in my shoulder, which is where my problem is, I didn't actually have that. But if it was directly into the subcutaneous, it did irritate. But I think that's also part of the fact that it's targeting that subcutaneous fat,
Correct. Correct.
and that's what you're feeling is it basically attacking that.
Yeah, dude. And it's hard if you're listen. I like cake. I like my pizzas. I like my carbs. I like my cheesesteaks. I like all that shit. Don't get it twisted. Bearded's a fatty. All right, Bearded's a fatty. I can eat. Right. I had cookie brownies last night. One instead of half the pan. I had one because my daughter baked them. Right. So it's like it's hard, dude. Potato chips are a vegetable. So potato chips aren't bad if you make them yourself, but the way they're processed with all the chemicals and all the oils that they cook them in, right? And all the preservatives that they put them in. Yeah,
Bro,
potato
making
chips.
them in the air fryer and then in the oven. Oh
Ooh.
man, with
Oh yeah,
whatever seasoning you want.
that's right. There is Nutella and peanut butter in the background, and there's always a tub of hot sauce. Listen, guys, I'm a fatty. I like to eat. Like I have a sweet tooth. again, I just control it, right? At the end of the day, it's all about control, which circles back to mental health.
Everything is okay in moderation. That's what, well, I have to say everything. Most food is okay in moderation.
Yeah, listen.
And people don't think about that. It's like it's okay to go have a fatty steak like every once in a while.
Yeah,
It's okay to go eat a hamburger with french fries once in a while.
of course
And
it
I'm
is.
talking about like the non-home, excuse me, non-home cooked, greasy, nasty ones,
Flo,
right?
that's the one thing I told peeps. Like, listen, you're having a hard time with breakfast, eat something light. Get yourself some Greek yogurt. I do it, which I have to go do it, now because I just got back from the gym, but I wanted to get the podcast started because we're already late, and I have people coming to the house soon, and then now I have to go to my daughter's school to drop off her computer. So the podcast is going to be like probably going to go for about another hour or so. But anyway, Greek yogurt in the morning, and granola because I like the crunch, and I like getting my grains and my fibers and stuff, and adding berries. Again, every berry is perfect for you except for strawberries. They have a high glucose glycemic index. Not glucose, it's glucose, but high glycemic index, but still good for you. They're still berries, right? So again, eat as much antioxidants as you can. Obviously, it's going to help clean your blood, but just
Yep.
creating that schedule and creating that
Hi,
routine
Dragon.
circles back to your mental health, to getting stable, right? Because at least when I feel triggered or when those thoughts come in my head, and it's not, I feel like I'm one of the very few veterans out here that have made peace with everything that happened. Like, obviously, still shit still bothers me, and obviously, like, it's changed me for life. But I'm fine with it. Everything I did over there, I'm completely fine. We didn't do anything crazy. We didn't do anything illegal. Like, none of the stuff that all the war crimes you guys hear sometimes in the news. No, Obama at the time gave us a presidential unit citation because how successful our deployment was. I have a puck. If you guys, for you military guys, I have a puck because our deployment was extremely successful. We were effective and we pushed Taliban very quickly. A seven-ish month deployment, because it was closer to 8 months. A 7-ish month deployment, the Taliban was gone within 4 or 5 months. We went from
That
fighting every
sounds
day.
amazing, Turtle.
We went from fighting every day to not fighting at all, basically. We only, as a battalion, we only had 4 KIAs, a couple of casualties, but 4 KIAs. So again, I'm good with the veteran stuff. It's life, right? Life is hard. So I'll be right back, guys.
The sooner that you can make peace within yourself, the better you're going to. Me, I've my community knows this. A lot of the charity people know this, but it's one of those situations that like I've made peace with myself in the fact that what I did brought me home to my wife and my kids. I didn't do anything illegal over there. I didn't do any of that. It came down to a simple fact of them or me. And it was one of those things that I'm going home. I'm going home. I have there's no way I'm not going home. And that's all it came down to, right? It was one of those situations of, did I do some really, in my eyes and in Bearded's eyes, he'll say it too, some really cool shit. Yeah. Other people would think it's probably inhumane or not okay or whatever, but it is the way it is. Like, I've done some really cool shit overseas. I've done some really shitty things overseas. I mean, go 28 days without taking a shower and tell me how you feel.
Go 3 days,
Yeah,
4 days without sleep.
so it's all part of it. You're muted, Bearded.
Go 3 to 4 days without sleep.
Yeah, I would say 3 or 4 days without sleep. I mean,
Not showering, barely eating.
mm,
Again, people get hurt, right? So casualties are always going to be a thing. But yeah, I've done some cool shit. You know, double called in bombs.
My last deployment, I got lucky. I didn't actually lose anybody, which you and I talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually physically lose anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But I had guys that got hurt, and it was on my watch when they got hurt. And there's it's never a good thing, right?
Yeah.
But it's something that, you know, they came to me later on after it was all said and done, and they're like, "Hey, like it's not your fault. Shit happens."
Right, and that's the
And
piece that I'm talking about, right? That is the piece that I'm talking about. So I know that remorse and guilt, that's what really eats people up, right? Again, it's easy to deal with the combat stuff and all the gruesome shit we've seen because at the end of the day, regardless of the politics, the civilians, contrary to what people believe, I've had more locals come up to us thanking us than anything else. Like villagers, kids, they loved us. Again, if you do deployments right, if you do, you know, the hearts and minds, but still, you know, be on your toes. If you do it right, you win the people, and that's ultimately what you want. You want to win the people.
that's what matters. You want the people to be happy with the result. You want them to be okay
Right.
with you being there, or else now you're fighting on two fronts.
Right. And so, like, at the end of the day, like, there's evil people out there, and guys, the gruesome shit that they do. There's a special place in hell for them. I'll tell you that right now, and they're doing it to their own fucking people.
Yep.
It's crazy. So it's like, you know, we are cuffed in certain areas, but at the end of the day, a bullet to the head is a bullet to the head, right? The combat stuff is easy to deal with because they were trying to kill you. Like, you got shot at. Like, they tried to end your life. They missed. You didn't. Easy. It's easy. It's watching your friends get hurt, blaming yourself for it, because obviously we always think that we can do more. We should have done more. You know, it's that kind of stuff that, again, that ate me up. That absolutely killed me. Right?
And like my young soldier I had, right? But yeah, I told y'all the story. My community just knows the story. We had a young soldier. We were up in Kunduz, in the north side over by Pakistan, and we were out on a routine thing, and we basically brought a newbie with us every time we went to get their feet wet, just because it was a real heavy trafficked area. And we didn't want a bunch of new guys out there getting shredded, so we would bring one new guy at a time with us. And it just so happened that the Afghanis that we were with blocked the road instead of wishboning correctly, which caused us to have to stack. And when the vehicle stacked, an RPG came and went underneath the vehicle, blew up on the mud wall behind, and the only person that got hurt was the brand new dude that was out on mission. And it shredded his calf and jacked him up. So that was one of those things that it's like, who would that have been if I hadn't have brought him? But at the same time, you know, welcome to Afghanistan, motherfucker. Like, you know,
yeah, listen, it's definitely a crucible by fire, man. I remember just going in hour one, right? Hour one. So we're in Camp Leatherneck, which is it's a base in Camp Bastion is the main base in southern Helmand province. Camp Leatherneck is the Marine base that is connected to Bastion, right? You have a bunch of different camps for a bunch of different services, right? There's Bastion 1 and 2, there's Camp Viking, there's Leatherneck, and there's some other camps probably now. Well, not anymore. But, you know,
Leatherneck's gone. It's just Bastion 1 and 2 now.
Right.
Or at least that's how it was in 2016.
Listen, I think all of it's gone, to be honest. We gave it all up. But so we conducted the largest helo-borne operation since Vietnam when we pushed into Afghanistan. You can look it up. 1-5, 1st Battalion, 5th Marines, NAWA, District 2009. Look it up. It was about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes helicopter flight down to our area of operations, our AO. And as we approach the last 5 minutes of my helo ride, 5 to 10 minutes of my helo ride, you just hear dinks on the helicopter. Start getting evasive maneuvers, and you start hearing dinks on our helicopter. You know, so it's like, oh, shit, this is different than Iraq. You know, I was in a fucking MRAP, an up-armored vehicle, driving through the streets, you know, back in, you know, late 2007, early 2008, just chilling, you know, because at that point, all the hard fighting was done. But there were still, you know, a couple people there. But again, there's streets, there's it's concrete, there's asphalt, there's buildings. Like Afghanistan, there's nothing there. Especially the southern part of Helmand, there's nothing.
It's just desert. Just desert.
It's like there's nomads. We encountered nomads that would move every once in a while. That's how old school and backwards that they are, right? So, you know, we land. Okay, cool. We land. SSNE, just chill. Right? Just chill. And we start moving. About an hour, sun starts breaking over the horizon. So we're starting getting some natural light. Knots come off. On, you know, approaching some tree lines, approaching a compound. Boom. They open fire. You're talking PKMs, AKs. They're just lighting everything up. Missing everything. They suck. But it was a lot of fire.
Love you, Biggs.
You know, we return fire. And all of a sudden, you see the smoke in the air. You hear the sound. Boom, RPG flies over our heads. Goes right over the trees. Lands maybe like 75 meters behind us. Blows up. And we're like, oh, shit, guys. Like, we give each other, like, as it's flying, time slows down. We give each other a look saying, okay, this is different. Let's kick it up. You know, then boom, everything just starts flowing. All the basics, all the training, everything, you know, hey, you know, first squad move over there, third squad move over there. If we start firing, maneuvering, we start, you know, surrounding them. We start launching stuff back at them. I shot a rocket at the wall to open up a hole because our side of the compound was just walls, you know. Made a hole, made some breach, you know, close quarter combat. Again, it happened so fast. And that set the tone for the rest of the deployment. That first day, that first 3 hours of my 7.5 month deployment set the tone. And then you're at that high the entire time. Because if you drop below that, people get hurt. Or more people get hurt. You'll have more drastic things happen to you. And then to come home, that trying to turn off that switch is so hard. And that's a lot, like when people come home, that's what people struggle with. If you guys, you know, for you guys that aren't veterans, but support us anyway, which we appreciate tremendously.
Absolutely.
That speaks volumes, right? You got to understand that when veterans come home, sometimes that switch never comes off and they're stuck. And that's the issue that a lot of, you know, veterans have, is that they're stuck. And then on top of that, when they get out, they lose their jobs, they lose their friends, they lose their purpose, they lose their routine, they lose that having to do physical fitness, even though if you don't want to, but you still felt good when you did it. Like, it's such a spiral. And to call it PTSD, it doesn't even do it justice. It's more than that. It's so much more than that, because PTSD, post-traumatic stress, it's not stress. PTSD is anxiety, depression, lack of sleep, high alertness. Like it's a cocktail of so many things, and they just made it an acronym, right? And that's the kind of stuff that I want to do, and that's what me and Ted do. And I thank Double for joining. I didn't thank you yet, but thank you for joining.
Of course, man.
It's to do this podcast and put this stuff out there to really shed some light on the actual things that go on, and, you know, without having just to call it PTSD. I don't know why today I felt like doing it. Maybe I'm a little extra motivated, but that's what I wanted to talk about today. And then to deal with that stuff, the biggest thing for most veterans is to find that routine again and to
find a different outlet.
And then surround yourself with people that are like-minded, right? You have to figure out a way to push and create that self-motivation. And once you have the motivation, the first thing you do is create that discipline. As soon as the discipline happens and you're locked in, even if you lose the motivation, you get up anyway. You diet anyway. You work out anyway. You do this anyway. Because as soon as you do any of those things, you start feeling the motivation. It kicks on. That's also a switch. You know? My fiance's cousin took a long time to turn off that switch. Yeah, so did I. And I was fortunate enough to what helped me turn off that switch, believe it or not, was MMA. I did an MMA for a year competitively after I got back from Afghanistan. So I found an outlet besides fitness to channel that anger, depression, and sadness into something. And sometimes, and it came out of the whim. It was like, oh, do I want to do guard duty on base? No. Do I want to go work at the PX? No. Do I want to go become an MP? No. Oh, the Marine Corps has sports programs, and every branch has them. Every branch has sports programs,
Yep.
And I joined a sports program, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'd rather do this. Let me go give this a try. I like jujitsu. I was doing jujitsu before anyway, so I like jujitsu. And it was like, oh no, we're gonna learn, a bunch of different shit. I learned boxing. I learned Muay Thai. I honed in my jujitsu. I gained a purple belt, thanks to the Marine Corps. I was pretty efficient in Muay Thai. I was pretty efficient, again, not a pro, but efficient enough to hold my own on a fight, and learned some wrestling from the wrestlers, because the team had so many different fighters and fighting styles that we just learned from each other. Again, camaraderie, building that brotherhood, having the purpose, a mission to win. That's what you need. You need that. You need to find that mission again in life, right? Right. So again, I dealt with that in Jersey, right? Coming back to driving in the civilian world, I hated, dude, forget traffic. You put me in traffic, I'm sweating. I was sweating. Cars on the side of the road, get me the F away from them. Just get me away. Because those are IEDs, right? Any weird looking trash, or any like piled up dirt, those are IEDs to me. I see that and I think bomb. So that shit's crazy.
It's why my wife drives when we go places, if we're together, is so I can watch the road. It's a habit that I haven't gotten out of yet. My biggest injuries were from 2 IEDs and 1 EFP.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for that. That's the worst that I got was from those. But it's one of those things that I literally will sit there and watch the road as she's driving. And if I feel uncomfortable on the highway, I'll make her right in the middle lane all the way.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of those things that I haven't gotten over yet, and that I'm continually working on. But it's whenever I am driving, I mean, Bearded's been with me. I don't drive like a normal person anymore. I don't pay attention to my directions and where I'm going because I'm so focused on what's going on the road.
Drive like a grandma.
And Bearded's been in the car with me. he knows. I don't drive like I'm in normal society, unfortunately. Never have, probably never will again.
I drive like a cop because that's what I do.
Yeah.
I drive like an asshole.
Yeah. And it's one of those situations that, it's something that even 5 years of being out, I still deal with.
And that's fine. That's perfect.
And we're never going to be the person we were before. If anything, we're going to be better.
Yeah.
Because of that heightened awareness, because of that time that we spend in those situations, it makes us better and makes us who we are. So you didn't even know it could hit 150. Jesus, Spirit. Oh man. What up, Kev? How you doing, brother?
We went from Maryland to northern part of Jersey, which usually takes about 2 hours. I didn't have to tell you.
About
Yeah,
45 minutes.
I got it back in like an hour. Yeah, man. Listen, you had a girl at the time I was married. I had a wife to get back to. You don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Let's see. I got out. So I got out active duty 2010. I got out from the reserves in 2011. So we're about the same time, Nomeo. Yeah, of course, everything is a struggle, but you have to want to change, right? And that's the thing. Guys, first of all, let me say this. It's okay to not be okay. It's 100% to be okay with not being okay. As long as you know that.
Once you become comfortable with being the fact that you're always going to be uncomfortable, that is when it starts to get better.
And as long as, listen, change is good. It's tough. It's hard. Believe me. But change is good. As long as it's healthy change, it's good. And as soon as you understand that it's okay to be fucked up and then want to be better, even if it's not for yourself, if it's for your family, for your loved ones, for whatever your reason is, you hold on to that shit and you put in the work. Just go to work. Just do what you did in the military. Go to work. Life is about survival, right? We want to live as long as possible with as little injury as possible, and we want to enjoy and extract all the goodness of life, right? That's what you want to do. That should be your goal. That should be your reasoning for yourself. If you want to go to Loot Fest, if you want to go to DreamHack, if you want to play video games, if you want to go to the gym, if you want to have a motorcycle, if you want to have a nice truck, if you want to feed the chickens, whatever your reason is, if you want to fuck midgets, it doesn't matter what your reasoning is. Just find that reason.
Of course, you had to throw your reason in there.
Oh yeah, of course I did. A couple of my reasons. Do it. Let that be your goal. Let that be your reason to get up in the morning and just put in the work. Right? Never stop, and then surround yourself with like-minded people. They don't have to be the same, but they have to be like-minded. Like, it was great for me to talk to Double in the car. I rode with Double more one-on-one than I did with anybody else.
There's just two of us, Kiwi.
Yeah, and then me and Double literally left Loot Fest before everybody else, just to leave Loot Fest because we were just tired and hashtag.
We literally ran. Like, yeah. I'm not even joking. We ran down the fucking stairs to get out because our brain was so just done. And we both looked at each other. I was like, "You ready?" He goes, "Yep." and we left. And it was just the understanding because we were at a point where it was like,
listen,
we needed to leave. And we both understood that.
We were hungry as shit too. It was a long day.
Yeah.
It is easier said than done to surround yourself with but that's what this charity's about. And if you know people that are struggling, send them here. Be that person that opens the door to possibility for others. You will feel good. That alone, again, that's your mission. Guys, as part of AGB, your mission is to bring in veterans, regardless if they donate or whatever. Just bring them in, introduce them to the community, get their feet wet, and watch them blossom. And then, again, today, you guys have helped me. You guys are great. This is great. We love the podcast. We're getting so much positive feedback that dude, that's my mission. I don't care, Nomeo. Eat it.
It's okay. You'll get over it.
I won't.
Krishnik does.
I won't talk about. I don't talk. To me, therapy doesn't work for me. I don't like talking. I don't like being. I'm not a very emotional person. I might sound like right now, but again, it's just me talking to you guys about what you guys should do. Because I do these things. I work out. I have daughters. I live for them. I work, even though sometimes my work sucks. But I work. I go to work. I do the things that I need to do as a man first, because quitting is not an option for me. Even though I've thought about it, I've been on the verge of it. It's not an option for me. I love my cake, my cheesesteaks, my bikes, my women, my kids. Kids tremendously, especially lately. My kids have been super affectionate. I feel so motivated. I love the gym. I love the pump. I love just going in there, just absolutely destroying my body, just to feel like that hit, right? And I love it so much that quitting is no longer an option for me. And I still think about it. It's a thought, right? But the damage you will do to the people that you care about the most is something I cannot live with. And I don't care what, you guys believe whatever you believe. I believe in an afterlife. What it is, I have no idea, but I believe in afterlife. And to sit wherever I'm going to go and have to see my daughters cry, have to see their suffering, causing them the trauma that I'd never want to cause them, the trauma I fought for to avoid my kids to ever have to deal with, I am not going to be that reason. Right? I
That's
am not.
something that you and I talked about, man, is when I
Yeah.
first got out, one of the reasons I decided to go the route that I went is because I was taking that frustration and that anger and turning around and putting it right on my kids and my wife. It was like, I can't do that. They're the sole reason I'm still here. Like, why am I doing this? And I had to take that time, and really evaluate where I'm at, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and go, okay, I need to find ways to channel this that is going to be, you know, not directed towards my girls, you know, and that's really where it's gotten to. Like, do I have my moments? Well, yeah, I'm sure, Bearded, you have your moments that you drop your guard on it, and it happens. We're human; it's gonna happen. But it's not an everyday thing where it's always targeting them. It's always going after them. Like, it's not that way anymore. And, when they come up and give me a hug unprovoked, or they come up and just want to spend time, which is rare because I got a 13-year-old that thinks she's 20, and my 9-year-old's so independent that, I love it, that when they do, it's like, okay, let's hang out, and it's rewarding. It's a reward for me. So I,
And
I, I'm right there with you on that.
Nomeo, back and hip issues, dude. I have 200, well, they're almost crushed. Two crushed discs basically in my neck, and I have two crushed discs in my lower back. Again, I know people have worse pain in their bodies. I'm fortunate enough that my body, for some reason, I've never broken a bone. I've torn some ligaments, but I've never broken a bone. I'm tougher than shit. I don't know why. I don't know where I got, maybe the mailman. I don't fucking know. But my
So it's
genetics,
the Cro-Magnon in you, bro.
dude, the fucking genetics I have, I'll never be huge, but I'm indestructible. Right? At
Hmm.
least that's what I think. And that's the mentality I'm always going to have. But
I thought the same thing until until I get hit by the car and it
uh,
shattered my shoulder and my knee.
dude, I got hit by a car, September.
Yeah.
A little torn ligament here, a little bone bruising, and I fucking walked away from it. Battered and bruised, but I walked away from it.
Yeah.
But again, working out isn't just lifting weights, right? When we say go work out, going for walks, stretching, yoga, Pilates. Again, not that I do. Well, I stretch a lot. Actually, I stretch a lot because I'm getting old. But like, I don't do Pilates. I don't do yoga. I guess some of my stretches are considered yoga, but I don't do yoga. I don't do any of that
Dude,
stuff.
I started stretching a lot more, especially with the comp I have coming up, right
Yeah.
in the hips and lower back area, because it's real heavily focused on that. But it's been a game changer. Like, if you just spend the time working on yourself in a way that is going to cause longevity, your body and your mind is going to feel so much better because your pain receptors aren't going to be going to your head saying, slow down, stop. It's going to be like, hey, this is nice. Let's keep it going.
Nomeo, I recommend you getting a sports rehab specialist outside the VA if you can. Uh, again, go to the VA for all your stuff that you guys need. Yeah. Blah 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 blah. Jersey VA sucks. I don't know how your state is. I don't know how things are where you're from. Jersey VA sucks, especially in my area. Everything I do is third party. Yes, I have a job, so yes, I have health insurance. I could not get health insurance and just use the VA for everything. Go to a third party. Go get a second opinion. I'm telling you, there are really good doctors out there, if you can, that will teach you how to deal with your shit. And it changed your. I was so against going to doctors. I was so against it. until my blood pressure was through the roof, until my divorce, until all this, all like what I felt like my life was collapsing and falling apart. I was like, fuck it. Quitting is not an option. I need to start changing. I need to start feeling good all around. I'm telling you right now, find a really good, like, research it. Dude, I'm such a nerd. The reason why I know fitness, I don't compete. I've never trained anybody. I just read so much random shit. I hear something, I research it. I hear something, I research it. That's just what I do. I have no life. I don't go out. I don't date. I don't do anything besides work, gym, kids, and that's it. I barely game nowadays. All I do is look up. I just research everything as much as I can. Some of it stays, some of it goes.
Turtle goes to a sports medicine clinic and she absolutely loves it. And she was talking about what she eats earlier, and I was like, that's awesome. Like she's getting herself into a very healthy spot.
Yeah. Again, I recommend you guys, if you can, go get a third party. See if the VA approves third party. Right? See if that stuff happens. Can you do dips? Yeah, so again, and then another thing. If you go to a gym, or if you can get your hands on a pull-up bar, whatever it is, right? Whatever supports your weight. Again, I don't know, I'm not asking for people's weights here, but whatever can support you. Decompression therapy is some of the best stuff for your back and hips. It's some of the best stuff you can do. Just hanging on a pull-up bar, right? Get your straps. Get the little. They make straps that go around your wrist with little hooks, so it doesn't hurt your hand, and you literally just use that to hang there. And then again, there's lots of videos, lots of techniques. I have a couple that I do when my lower back kills me sometimes. Again, guys, I wear a gun belt every day. I have a taser. I have 2 mags. I have a gun. I have flashlights, cuffs, radio. Everything's on my belt. Everything is on my belt. So my lower back and my hips kill me. And I sit in a car with a computer, so center console with radios in it. I got a bunch of shit. Again, when it comes to lower back issues, you guys are, excuses to me. When I hear complaints about, oh, my lower back hurts, this, and that, I have crushed. Okay, do something about it. Every time I hear you guys saying, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I understand people have their threshold of pain. Mine's really high. My motivation to get better is really high. But so can yours.
Exactly.
You got to get that mindset. Like, it hurts. Yeah, it hurts now. Give it a month. Lose some weight.
Another good way to work on it too is pigeon stretch. If you don't know what pigeon stretch is, look it up. It's real simple. As far as stretching, because believe it or not, a lot of the lower back issues you have come from your glutes. They come from the ligaments that attach all the way down your piriformis. Look that up. Comes from your piriformis, and all that is where that lower back pain comes from, is the tightness in your hips and in your glutes. So pigeon stretch, figuring out ways to stretch the piriformis, getting yourself I don't know if you do the lacrosse ball or not, inside the hip, bearded, but that is a game changer. It opens up the piriformis and the lower back. It's amazing, especially for those of us that sit for long periods of time. They have to go be extremely active. It's absolutely fantastic. Nordics suck, bro. Have fun with that.
Yeah, Nordic. I've seen some Nordic stuff, man. I want to get into it.
They suck. They're well worth it.
Yeah,
but they suck. I'm having to do full extension hamstring curls right now, where I use a band across my chest and go all the way down and all the way up.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I have holding me up is my feet.
Yeah.
So it sucks.
Yeah. Then they have they have a lot of home stuff that you can, put on your door and stuff like that. If you get, again, there's nothing that you can't do at home that you can do in a gym. Obviously, gym has different equipments for different things. And that's, I wouldn't say for professionals, but for guys that go and people that go to the gym, just to get some help. Like you guys see, I have a bench behind me. I have dumbbells. I have adjustable dumbbells. I have bands. I have MMA gloves. I have fucking practice swords in the back corner over there. Again, and I still go to the gym. When I don't feel like going to the gym, I'll do something here. Again, there's nothing stopping you guys from correcting whatever needs to be corrected with your bodies, with your health, and creating that like self-discipline that, again, everything always circles back to your mind. There's one principle in Marine Corps martial arts: one mind, one weapon. Right? That's typically almost every martial arts. Your strongest weapon is your brain. Fitness is just like the benefit, right? Like looking good, feeling good, getting a little stronger, looking a little good when you're naked. Like that's the benefits of fitness, right?
The fitness also keeps the mind strong because it's making you work.
Your brain's a muscle, guys. Your brain's a muscle. Having to be focused, having to be, controlling your breath or going slow, making sure your form's good. Yeah, that is all physical, but it starts in here. Everything starts in your brain. And creating that strength physically ultimately creates the strength mentally. And that ultimately, I'm telling you guys, go to doctors, go get your blood work, get the right nutrition. I'm telling you, your brain changes, your mind changes. That motivation comes. Even if you feel good, if you think you feel good now, go to the doctor anyway. I did. I was great. I was working out 5-6 times a week. I was, very active in the bedroom. Again, just being a man. Went to the doctor because I wanted to optimize. I got in the thing when I got separated, and I, got separated, got into a relationship, lost that relationship. I put it into my mind that I want to optimize everything. I want to optimize my brain. I want to optimize my training. I want to optimize everything. It was all about optimization. I got my blood work done. Come to find out, my test is low. I'm missing certain vitamins, high blood pressure, high cortisol. I was like, okay, what do I do? Tell me, doc. Hey, do this, this, and that. I read everything he said. I said yes, went home, researched everything. I researched everything he said. Now, obviously, doctors are restricted to big pharma. That's why you need to go find a good doctor, one that's kind of willing to push the boundaries on certain things. And by that, I don't mean like giving you like crazy drugs, but willing to take, like what Double does, take a more holistic approach. Like, I went to the doctor. Hey, you're pre-diabetic. Your sugar's kind of high. Instead of giving me pharmaceutical drugs, he's like, hey, listen, there's something you can buy. It's called berberine. It helps your body naturally regulate your insulin, which will make you slightly more insulin sensitive, which then hopefully will start bringing down your sugars.
That A1C.
Yep. Right. And guess what? He was right. And guess what I did? Start shoving those things down my the way you're supposed to. But I started shoving those things down my throat. Next blood work 3 months later. Hey, your sugar's down. Keep it up. Hey, you know what? Now let's try laying off some carbs. And I was like, okay, I do eat carbs. No, I eat carbs because I just like carbs. I like to eat. So I started, monitoring how much I eat. 3 months later. Hey, your sugar's good. Well, I've been listening to you. I've been following what you said. And guess what, guys? Guess what also helps with diabetes? Muscle mass. Muscle mass. Sugar sticks to fat more than it does to muscle. So
yep.
The increase of muscle mass and the decrease of fat lowered my blood pressure, even lowered my blood sugar even more, and now I get to eat more cake. I monitor how much I eat, but now I get to eat more because now I'm not pre-diabetic anymore. So which then makes me feel good, right? I'm working out, looking better naked, and now I get to eat some cake. Come on, guys, win-win. It's a win-win.
Yep.
Then it's, again, discipline, motivation. Now I'm even more motivated, right? And coming back from Texas, granted, I just had gotten over pneumonia. I was still coughing half the time when I was in Texas. I had just, my wrist started feeling better. My elbow started feeling better from my accident back in September. I've been hitting the gym so fucking hard. And I already feel the results because I'm putting so much effort into it. And I'm like, I don't know if you guys can hear it, pre-Texas podcasts, I was barely around. I was always kind of like, meh, once we were talking about like midgets. And then now, come on, guys. If you can't hear or see the difference, I'm just, open your eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's a mental shift, and that's what you guys need. And talking to guys like Double and me about diet and nutrition and fitness, I'm sure Double will help. I will help. Peeps is on my diet plan. Ask Peeps. I think he's lost almost 5 pounds in the 2 weeks since we've been back. He's eating yogurt, and he's like, oh, that's actually not that bad. Greek yogurt and a little bit of granola or fruit for breakfast, just to get that your metabolism started and get some healthy, prebiotics, probiotics from the yogurt, some grains and antioxidants from the berries and granola that you're eating. Having that in your stomach right away, and again, it's not filling. It curbs the appetite, but it's not filling. You're hungry. You're hungry in 2-3 hours. And guess what he's eating? Meat. He's going with some, carnivore-ish. Protein. How is Peeps eating 5 to 6 times a day, and he's lost 5 pounds? It works, guys. It's science.
My metabolism up.
Yeah, and Peeps again, not to throw Peeps' like medical business out there, but Peeps was complaining about bowel movements. He's like, yeah, it's starting to become regulated. I was like, yeah, no shit. You're creating a healthy environment in your stomach, creating that good stuff in there. I forgot what the technical term is, but you're creating that like that
The
good
healthy bacteria and things that you need.
Yeah, there's some fancy name for it, but like you're creating that good home and the good start, and then the rest of your body is just following. It's just following the lead of what you're doing. Listen, I get it. I hate yogurt. I used to hate yogurt, but I forced myself. I eat for performance than pleasure. When I eat for pleasure, that's when I go out. That's when I order food. Listen, I love steak. I love eggs. I eat that shit because I love it. But like the yogurt, that's why I put granola in my yogurt for that crunchiness. It almost reminds me of like thick cereal. I let the granola sit for a little bit, so like the kind of the yogurt kind of absorbs it just like milk. The granola gets slightly soft, and I just scooping it up like cereal. It changes. I'm telling you, it changes your life. Little changes starts creating bigger changes, and that's what you guys need to do. And talk to somebody. It can be about your triggers. It can be about your day. We have so many people in this community. Find out what games people like to play. Talk about boot camp. Again, talk about the fun stuff. You don't always have to talk about the dark shit. Talk about the fun stuff.
Yep.
Just fucking post memes. I love looking at memes.
I mean, one of my favorite stories to tell that everybody freaking dies about is the freaking C4 in the oil pit. Bunch of guys, a bunch of operators got bored. We were out on a cop that had been torn down, and we were just sitting there waiting to move to our next location. And we are just hanging out, having a good time, and a couple of guys get bored and they see a pit. They grab an old coffee can they found, filled it, lined it with C4, put some nails in it for fun, threw it down in the pit, and blew it up. But what they didn't know is it was an old oil pit for changing oil and working as a mechanic.
Big boom, guys.
And yeah, it was a really big boom. And then it was a very large fire for a very long time, which caused us to get ambushed regularly after that. And then we had a real fight on our hands because of, someone got bored and wanted to have fun. Like, I mean, it happens. Like, and it's one of the funnier stories because we all had a fucking blast, but at the same time, it was like, uh-oh.
I'm gonna give you guys a story real quick with also C4. So if you guys look up, I was an 0351 infantry assaultman in the Marine Corps. Infantry assaultman is a grunt on juice. We're basically grunt on steroids. We're infantry guys on steroids. We do all the grunt stuff, all the grunt training, all the advanced stuff that they do, and on top of that, we shoot a 83 millimeter rocket, which is called a small rocket, and we get demolition training and breach training. So I got mechanical breaching, shotgun breaching, urban explosive breaching, and I got to deal with explosives. Right, I carried C4, det cord, fuses, all that stuff. I carry that stuff all on me all the times. So one of our big training ops are our advanced explosives training. You guys get to blow up, holes in steel, create some shape charges, and blow holes in steel. Well, me being me, I was like, what if I can blow a dick-sized hole? You know what? What if I blow a dick-shaped hole? And everybody's like, yeah. And I was like, cool. I got 2 sticks of C4. I try to mold the veiniest dick I can find, or I can create, molded the dick, and then created C4 balls and try to put hair on them, right? Bro, we took that back with us. It was about a steel plate, maybe like this big, and the dick was probably like that big, and the balls were probably like right here, right? Literally, I blew a dick in 2-inch steel plates. And that's training. That's just us having fun, right? You know, and that's the story.
You gotta test it out.
Yeah. Again, I was taught this, and I'll never forget it. You're only limited by your imagination when it comes to explosives. It's whatever your brain can create. That's what you get to do. So if you think like, that can't be destroyed, bullshit. You're limiting yourself. So again, you know what? Let's see what a dick shaped safe charge will do. Be great. Let's see what happens.
Do you want to see what 9,000 pounds of munition will do to a village?
Yeah, dropping bombs was cool.
There's a video on YouTube. Look it up.
Wolf said grenade range. So we had a CQB grenade range where you practice throwing grenades into a doorway, right? Into a doorway. Because again, more advanced training, right? Throw the grenade into the doorway, then you have some pop-up targets. You know, everybody breaches and goes. So everybody runs through it one by one. We all line up and go. So set the stage. In the hallway, doorway. In front of the doorway, there's a sandbag, kind of like half wall. And then next to it is like a little L, and then another sandbag, L, halfway, but in front of the door. One sandbag half wall is for the instructor. The other sandbag half wall is for you, the one man, just in case the grenade comes back at your feet. And we're talking about live M67 grenades, guys, right? Composition A6 in them, bunch of fragmentation. It fucking fucks shit up. Okay. Well, your boy is number one, man. It's my turn to be number one. And it's the last guy to throw the grenade. Lance Corporal Brantley. Brantley. Good dude, shitty Marine, right? But heart like gold. Well, everybody's it. Everybody's like, all right, Brantley, you're it, bro. We get to go home after this. And okay, so get to the door. Get to the door. Tap, let me know he's going to go grab the grenade. I nod, yep. Pulls out, shows the grenade. I go, yep. I hear the flick, pull, thump, thump, thump. I look down, there's an M67 at my feet. I've never Superman dived so fast, so high in my life. The instructor, instead of grabbing me and helping me jump, he was like, whoa, like he did one of these. And then he jumped over the half wall, his half wall, and the grenade goes off. Right? And I can hear, my senior guys yelling at this kid. What the you could have gotten us all killed. And he's yelling at him. And then all of a sudden I hear, I'm not going to say my last name because fuck you guys. Bearded. Everybody's screaming. I look over at Staff Sergeant. I go, Staff Sergeant, you good? He goes, you good? I'm like, I think so. Nothing hurts. He goes, fucking Brantley. And I was like, yeah, tell me about it. We get up, we walk out. Staff Sergeant starts lighting him up. And everybody comes up to me like I'm going to be mad. No, man, that was fun as fuck. Now, it sounds twisted, but having a grenade fall at your feet shouldn't be fun. I thought it was hilarious because it was cool as shit. Nobody else has an experience now of a grenade falling at their feet and then having to react in seconds. I do, though. It's great because military grenades, if you guys don't know this, aren't a specific time fuse. They give you a window. M67 is 3 to 5 seconds. So the grenade could have gone off in 3 seconds or 5 seconds. It felt like an eternity. I can't tell you when it went off, but boy, and everybody's like, oh, don't fuck him up. Don't fuck him up. I'm not. I go up to him like, hey, you good? And he's shaking, right? Because he's just been yelled at by everybody. He's shaking. I'm like, hey, don't worry about it. We're good. I don't even have shrapnel in my butt cheeks. We're good. He's like, I could have fucking killed you, but you didn't.
We're all still here.
Yeah,
Shake it off and move on.
Are you good? Did you get shrapnel on your ass? He goes, no. I was like, all right, dude, don't do that again, because next time I'll fucking destroy you. But I was kind of fun, right? And then for the next, I don't know, hour, they literally made him go find big ass rocks and throw it. So there you go. There's your grenade story. An extra grenade out during our game doing drain, and rank 99. So the staff sergeant in the charge said we're gonna practice with them. Oh, slippery hands. Oh no. Oh, I already see where this. As soon as I read raining, I was like, oh no, slippery hands. Slippery hands suck when throwing grenades. Oh boy.
That's so terrible, bro.
Yeah, dude. Again, greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. But if you guys actually knew the stupidity and the dumbasses in this fighting force, you'd be like, what the shit? Yeah, of course. Yeah, our same. Why are you going to put a roof on a grenade range? It's going to get blown off anyway. Makes no sense. Baseballs aren't as heavy. Believe it or not, M67 has a good amount of weight to it. They're probably pound and a half, I think. Because it's really the casing. The casing is like legit like steel. Oh, did you guys throw in the puddle? That's hilarious. Yeah, what is a pound? 16 ounces? A grenade's pretty much close to that, I think. Yeah, so baseballs wouldn't be good enough. That's why we made them throw rocks. Big ass rocks.
It's not heavy enough, yeah.
Like I could throw a baseball yards away. I can probably toss a grenade. Well, back in the day, I could probably toss a grenade 50 yards, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Throwing stuff in the water is hilarious. Explosives in water is always fun. It makes a good splash. Everybody gets wet. It's hilarious. Good way to fish, guys. The concussive blast of an explosive in the water will shock the fish up, maybe kill most of them. And
the percussion blast well.
Mm-hmm. That's hilarious. Everybody probably freaked out. Of course, yeah. So in an open grenade range, that's what happens. There's no like you're behind like kind of like a berm, and you're throwing into like a kind of a field, and there's probably like a target that you have to hit. Yeah, that's usually how most.
Usually like a set of tires out there. You're trying to throw it in or whatever.
Yeah, or some targets or something that just to show you guys what a grenade does to somebody. Usually stuff that's pretty normal. Yeah, we had guys like had grenades slip or not throw it far enough, and the instructors will cover them. That's of course. As soon as somebody throws a short, you question giving him grenades. It's Marine Corps SOP that before you enter, or when you're doing CQB, before you enter a room, you throw a grenade in there. Other branches are like flashbangs or whatever. Nah, we're grenades. We love grenades. We love blowing shit up. It's just kind of a thing. Of course, yeah. Again, water, everybody gets soaked. We actually have, there's a breaching charge. You guys can look it up. It's called a water charge. You need 2 IV bags and a bunch of deck cord and tape, right? So IV bag, deck cord, IV bag, right? The best buffer for explosions is water. Just so it's kind of science. The explosion of deck cord pushes out, but the bounce back from this bag, and being that this bag is on a hard surface, like all that pushing, this just sends whatever, and you're supposed to use it for steel doors, like reinforced doors, and it just launches doors, right? But everything on the outside is missed. So as soon as it blows, as soon as you go, it's like you're getting missed with water. So it's kind of nice in the desert, but probably only in Iraq would we probably be using it, or like the main cities in Afghanistan, because there were shacks, like all the compounds had like shack doors, or like the little bead thingies. Right. Again, it's a great buffer. Deck cord is super fun. Penton, Tenton nitrate, or whatever it's the explosive that's in it. There's some factors that I can name out because again, that's what I used to do. But deck cord's hilarious. I love deck cord. You can blow up doorknobs, deadbolts with just a little cut of a deck cord and a little fuse on it. They're great. I love deck cord. Versatile as shit. Love it. But yeah, good time. Good time.
Oh, deck cord's easy. Deck cord's a lot of fun.
No.
You can definitely cut a tree down with it.
Dude, deck cord, you could do, again, when it comes to explosives, you're only limited by your imagination, guys. So, but yeah. All right, well, now that we have a good group of people here, anybody paying attention to the VA news lately? About all these layoffs and budget cuts and all that stuff? What do you guys think that means? And what do you think is, what do you hope that they do to correct this shit, man? Double, your thoughts?
I mean, for me, I just hope that it helps streamline things. The DEI cuts, as far as that piece goes, it was needed. Now they just need actual quality people in there. I just hope that now it's going to actually make it to where things run correctly and it's not biased.
Yeah, I always believe people should get hired for their experience and for their for their ability to do the job, not because their color or ethnic background. I get it, right? Like if you live in a Hispanic community and you have a bunch of white cops that can't speak Spanish, there's an issue there, right? Or either get your guys trained, or get some quality people that can speak Spanish, regardless of what they are. The colleges do this, but colleges are super liberal. But at the end of the day, I'm going through this with my job currently right now with the new administration, but you can't work backwards. You can't work a problem backwards. You can work it in your head backwards, right? But you can't actually put it into action backwards. You can't fire and create a stress on the system that is kind of already broken without already having an implementation. Nope, that's not the wrong one. Whatever. You can't put a plan into effect without having the backups to the problems you're about to create, right? Implementation, that's the word. My brain works. So like, if you're gonna fire, because I heard Virginia took a big hit. I saw the highlights. That's Virginia. Yeah, that's the word. Virginia took a big hit, laid off a couple hundred people from their VA staff, but there's no talks about replacing them. Again, I know here in New Jersey, in my area, the Northeast, they're overcrowded. There's a lot of veterans, so it's overcrowded. They're probably they're staffed, but they're probably understaffed because some appointments for certain specialties take months to get. So it's like, what do you do? Like what do you're gonna let people go and then not replace them, or not have a plan to replace them? And then I hope the people that you're replacing with, like Double said, are quality people, because that's what the VA really needs, is quality, right? And then
I'll take 25 quality employees to replace those 100 any day.
Yeah, and then the management, like, right? So like my current situation at work is we got new management, right? And everybody has the little niche that they harp on certain things that the old administration didn't harp, and then we're gonna change. Change is coming. My administration's doing change backwards. They decide to transfer a bunch of people without hiring people to cover the bleed that is in a certain division, but then you're going to take away from other divisions that are also understaffed, right? Because we went from almost 500 to under 400 employees at where I work. So you need people. You need to hire. And I know it takes about a year to from hiring to post academy, to getting their feet wet. So I know it takes a year. But why like long term they're focusing on, we're going to crack down this place is too lax. There's too much doing whatever you want here. So let's increase the punishment. And let's just turn people's lives around. And let's only tell them like a week before that we actually move them that their life's about to be turned around. Most jobs give you like 30 days, at minimum 2 weeks to 30 days before they change your whole life. Like if they told me on Monday that, hey, you're going to go to a day shift. Well, what are my hours? What does that mean, day shift? Day shift where? We have different divisions. Some day shifts are earlier, some day shifts are late. Like, what are we talking here? I literally requested nights, which nobody does, so I can deal with my home life and still deal with my work life and not have like this big mess, right? And so like it's crazy that you think that, oh, I'm going to increase the punishment and crack down on certain things without having other things in place that alleviates half the problem.
I would say to fix the problem.
Right. And so like the thing with the VA is just that, like, are you hiring, or are there people in the waiting, or like, are you going to go after some quality doctors? Well, in my thing, retention is big. And the only way you retain officers is benefits and benefits and payments. Are you going to pay these doctors that can go get a job at a regular hospital for, $50,000 to $60,000 more a year? Are you going to start paying them what they should get paid because they're going to deal with veterans that, first of all, I don't know about you guys, but you ask me what's wrong with me, you better learn how to dig, because I ain't telling you shit. I don't talk about shit. My back hurts. Yeah, I know, it's painful. Well, what's wrong with it? Oh, it hurts. It's sharp,
It hurts. I'm not going to tell you what I did to it, but it hurts.
Yeah, like you're supposed to know. You're a VA doctor. I got blown up. I got shot. I got this. This happened. I for 4 years they told me to carry this 100-pound pack with all my gear and go up fucking hills. Like, what? No human does this. Obviously, the wear and tear of my body is beyond most human comprehension. Mental health stuff. Yeah, I saw, smelled, and heard some shit that humans go their entire lifetime without ever seeing. Sometimes the first time anybody sees a dead body is at, some old dude's funeral. And that's all like nice and polished. Again, I in my career now, yeah, no, I've seen some, some gruesome stuff at my current job, but like the stuff I saw over there, dude, it was women, children, adults, bad guys, good guys. It didn't matter. My friends, like I saw a bunch of shit. If you don't get people to like that, know what they're doing, you're just either going to keep the same, keep status quo, and the VA still continue to be mediocre in their healthcare, or you're going to get some not qualified people, and the care is now going to be worse, and now you're going to have even more veterans with more issues that they probably shouldn't even have to be dealing with. It's not because I didn't see the med. Bro, I never went to sick call. I'm at 100%. Don't let that stop you. If you need help, I'm telling you, talk to Spooky, talk to the board, talk to people that have been doing it. Again, if you guys really need help, like truly, really need help, I have a guy. I have to ask him first because he does it on his own. He does it, again, he's an Army veteran that I've known since high school. He does it on his own. So, and he works with me in my department. So I reach out to him. If you guys really need help, like if you're really struggling to get, whatever percentage you are, and you really are, they're giving you the runaround, DM me. I'm going to ask you for your personal information, like your phone number and stuff like that. Tell me a little bit about, what's going on with the VA. And then I'll reach out to my buddy and like, hey, listen, I got this veteran. Because I think I always remind him, but I'm pretty sure he knows I work for the charity. And I go, hey, I got this veteran that has come to me because of the charity. Do you have time? Do you have availability to listen to him and help him out? If you guys listen to what he tells you to do, I promise you, he will help you. Not guaranteeing that he gets you more percentage, but he will file claims like you've never seen. He files claims like people should file claims. Most people's medical records don't look this thick. This is a package he gave me. There's my little claim my DD214s, and then medical statistics on training and mental health and explosions and look, low-level blast exposures in animals. And again, he gets all these research stuff, puts a package together, and this is what he submits for you through the VA, and letters signed by doctors and studies and all this shit that the VA doesn't do but should do. So, he gives you this little Privacy Act stuff. It's kind of legitness here. I'm telling you, if you guys really need help, DM me. I'll reach out to him after I get know what's going on with you. And then if he says yes, I put you guys in contact. And c'est la vie, bro.
Yep.
Well, we got guys here that also know what they're doing. Use a charity for us. That's why you guys are part of this community. That's why you guys listen to me rant and talk a bunch of shit. But reach out. We've all gone through it. I got out in 2011, filed my claim later that year. The VA, with all the shit that I've been through and all this other stuff, gave me 20%. Right? 20% is what they gave me. Zeros across the board. 20%. It wasn't until 2019, May or June 2019. He my buddy is like, hey man, how's it going? I was like, it's going good, man. Hey, what's your rating? Because I know you did combat and stuff. I was like, oh, 20%. He goes, what? Nah. This is what I do. I was like, really? He goes, yeah. I was like, I'll take care of it. I was like, all right, what do you need? He took care of it. So Ghost Fleet is a personal friend of mine. He's known me for years. And yeah, dude, it was April 1st, 2020. Well, no, first of all, in I think October, November. Yeah, we filed in May. By October, November of that year, the same year, 2019, I went up to 60% just on my physical stuff. All the things I had zero on, boom, 60%. From 20 to 60 in a couple of months. By April 1st of 2020, I was at 100%. And the money that got deposited into my bank account, I got a notification that, deposit came to the bank account. I saw the numbers. I was like, whoa. Instantly went to my account. I was like, oh, shit, there's some fraud going on. Nope. It said VA Treasury. I was like, no way. And then the emails hit. Bro. The world is lucky that it was COVID. The world is, I would have flown out with my daughters on vacation. Yeah. I bought a new paintball gun. I paid off a lot of, my debt. Because the financial stuff, it all helps, right, with debt. So I paid off a lot of my debt. Dude, it's life-changing. It's life-changing. If you guys are thinking about it, like, oh, no, but I got the way I thought was like, I got all my fingers, I got all my toes, I'm not missing body parts. I'm not going to file my VA stuff. Fuck that, dude. The pain and the struggle that we live with on a day-to-day. And the lack, I got really upset, how the Marine Corps promotes this brotherhood, this just camaraderie, and then as soon as you're gone, it goes away. It goes away. Minus your friends that you made that you kind of keep in contact with, because everybody knows you kind of keep in contact with everybody, because everybody goes back to their respective state, goes live their respective life. It's gone. Right? And so I was like, man, that really put a bad taste in my mouth. And then you go to a VA that's, doesn't function well. And you're like, what the fuck is this? What is this level of care? I get better care, at a private, shitty doctor than I do here at the VA that literally deals with shit day to day. Why do I have to tell you I got blown up? And what happens when people get blown up? Why do I have to tell you that I saw my friends die and the mental stress that puts on my body?
Exactly.
Why do I have to tell you this? I understand.
Why do you need these details? You don't need the details. If I tell you it happened 99% of the time, I mean, there are people that are just going there and bullshit, but
yeah. Right, I was going to say, I was playing devil's advocate, and I understand that devil's advocate here, that there are, stolen valor and stolen, people trying to lie their way to 100. But, just grab my record.
Love you, brother.
You have access to my record more than I do. It's like I have to go jump through hoops to get it. You're the VA. Like as long as I sign a power of attorney, you can go grab my record. My SBI is thicker than my medical record. Right? So it's like, bro, just go grab my record. Look up where, like right there, literally on my DD-214, I have awards, I have where I went, where I deployed, and who I was with. You want to fact check me? Well, here's some facts for you. You can Google my deployment. It's on Wikipedia. You can. It's on military stuff. There's a book. We got a book, guys. It's called The Wolves of Helmand. There's a book written by about my deployment. It was I forgot. Again, it wasn't my area, but it was the middle area of so 1st Battalion, 5th Marines area is huge. I was Alpha Company, right? Charlie Company, I think this book was written with Bravo. So Bravo had the most northern AO, and then Charlie had the middle, and then we had the south. So we had the most dangerous, and then, dangerous, less dangerous, even lesser dangerous. Still all dangerous, but, the Wolves of Helmand. Like, there's books written about my deployment. Like I'm not the dude that's just sitting here lying about it. My squad mate, my buddy, my friend, literally got a fucking Navy accommodation medal for dying. You can Google him, right? I'm wearing his memorial bracelet's right here because he's always got my back. I don't wear it because I don't want the attention. That's just how I am, hard target. But his memorial band's right here. Like, bro, what? Like, why do I have to jump through hoops? Find quality doctors that can siphon through the bullshit, that actually do the work and actually do the research, and get people with the help. I wanted the help more than I wanted the money. But the care, the level of care, it was so poor. I took the money, used my private insurance to go get the level of care that I thought I deserved.
Yeah.
Right? Because again, at the end of the day, it's about change. It's about optimization. And with all these layoffs that are probably going to come for whatever the reason, if it's DEI, if it's just budget cuts, whatever it is, they need to have a better plan on dealing with the veterans and upping the level of care. Great. I hope our benefits keep increasing. Yeah, I hope the money keeps going good. But again, I want the level of care. People need the care. Like, I'm really glad that it used to be 22 a day, and now it's down statistically to like 17 or 18 a day. It needs to be like 0. And getting the right level of care should be on the top of their list. Obviously, we all like money, but the level of care should be on the top of everybody's list. You're literally volunteering to go do what you got to do for this country. Do what an administration, regardless if you like them or not, regardless of what the reasoning is, you're sacrificing time with your family. You're sacrificing your life, regardless if you're in combat or not. You're sacrificing going to college, partying, going to school, having a potential to make more money, living a certain life. You're sacrificing all that to join military life, regardless of whatever your reasoning is. You're sacrificing all that. The least they can do is take care of you post-service. We don't need like the stupid budget cuts that they're doing because of Doge or whatever. We don't need any of the shit that they're cutting out of there. That should be dumped right back into the country. That should be dumped specifically for veterans. The military has a big budget. It has a huge budget.
Yeah.
And there's guys, there's a lot of waste. Dude, I use C4 I built a Dick C4 to blow a fucking steel plate. Like, there's obviously a lot of waste in the military, right? So, come on.
Dude, you probably wasted $25,000 for the C40.
Easy. Right, and there's and then stolen. Forget about waste. Stolen. People taking advantage. Like, oh yeah, this cost $50,000 when it cost $5. This is this when it costs significantly less. Oh, my time is worth $100,000 when it's really worth fucking pennies because you're a shitty ass doctor or you're a shitty ass person. That's the kind of stuff that's what they should implement first. Carve out and plan for what the biggest issues are, and then okay, we're fixing the budget. We're, getting some personnel in. Time to get the personnel out to compensate for the new personnel coming in. Get the people in, get their feet wet, get all the old shit out. Start creating some new habits in the treatment of veterans across the board before you start, compromising their actual ability to get the help that they need. Good, Wolf. That's fucking fantastic. Yeah, it's disgusting. 100%.
It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah, tilted. That's also true.
Did you see, totally off subject, did you see they released the files on JFK on who actually killed JFK?
Yes, sir. Is it 80 pages or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that.
It tells you exactly who did it and how it was done.
Mm-hmm. It's nuts. It's nuts that 60 years
That
after
his
the
own
fact.
government would kill him, right?
60 years after the fact, but we're getting it. We'll see if they keep releasing files of the things that people want. I don't think we're going to get the Epstein files, guys. And if we do get it, a lot of it's going to be redacted because you got to think about it. Why not release the JFK files after they made sure and tracked down that all the people that were involved are dead, so nobody could be prosecuted. So I don't think we're going to get the full Epstein files because
Full
I think
details of it, yeah.
because I think a lot of the people that were involved or partaked are still alive, and I'm pretty sure there's some high-ranking officials. I hope not, but I'm a realist. I'm sure there is, and again, a lot of people have commented on the Epstein files, and again, I'm the type of person. Cool, you tell me something, I'm gonna double check you, regardless if I trust you or not. I have friends, really good friends, that tell me things. And if it's like, besides like their personal, like if it's like something legit, I go look it up. And like people, like let's say somebody talks shit about Double, like, oh, Double's a fucking asshole. All right, I'll take that with the grain of salt. When I meet Double, oh, okay, Double's not an asshole. Maybe he's an asshole to you because you're a fucking cunt.
He's a big asshole.
Right? Like that's
Wait, what?
That's to me, that's how I that's how I go about dealing with people. Like if Ghost Lead's still here, a lot of people talk shit about him. But when I met him, I was like, oh, he's not half the shit people said about him. So it's like, again, like meeting Peeps. Again, Peeps has, Peeps is genuine, but he kind of gets excited and his persona kind of like gets exaggerated sometimes. But Peeps is a very smart individual. He's very honest, sometimes too honest, and he has a huge heart. As you guys know, because a lot of you guys are part of his community, he has a huge heart, and he means everything he says. Sometimes it's a little extra. I could deal with that without the little excitement, but Peeps is pretty genuine, and that's why I'm here. If it wasn't for Peeps being as genuine as he was, I would not be here. Because I'm like, oh, this is just going to be another Wounded Warriors. Because fuck those people. They do a lot of good, but they do a lot of bad too. Right. To make sure the facts are right. Like, oh, if you go grab this and mix it with this, it does this. Oh yeah? Okay, cool. I'm going to go make sure that that's factual. Right? Yeah, see, like, again, people will talk shit about people because everybody thinks they need to have their own opinion, right? And they think their opinions, people get confused with opinions and facts. Just because you think that person is one thing or you think that thing is this doesn't mean it's actually that or this person is exactly like that, right? Like here, I'm loud, I talk, I ramble. In person, I'm pretty fucking quiet, right? When I trust you, then you can get me. Then you can, Ghost Lead will tell you, I'm one of the loudest, arrogant sons of bitches he's ever met. And I am. I am arrogant because I'm confident in what I do.
Should have heard some of the shit that he was saying when we were off stream yet. The best. Bro, you made it very clear that there was people that he just did not want to be around out there.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. Yeah. So I'll tell you, we obviously, if you guys know, there's some issues with, that we had some issues here in AGB. And again, some things were said. And I said, listen, I'm not going there to start nothing. I'm not going there to do anything. I'm not looking for trouble. But if trouble comes to my door, nobody's disrespecting my people. I will destroy anything that gets in my way. You're not going to come to our, to this event when we're trying to do good and start disrespecting and bad mouthing my guys. Not that I'm a leader or anything, but double peeps.
No, it's just
Stan,
it's the
Roshan,
family, it's the brotherhood, man.
You're my guys, and I'll take care of the fucking problem. Granted, Kong's huge, Double's huge, Peeps is big. I'm pretty sure everybody's capable of handling their business. Guys, you don't need to.
But we still step in front of each other because that's what we do.
You know, because
Regardless if they can handle their own, we're still going to step in front of each other and be there.
yeah, like that shit needs to be cut out, man. Like, again, everybody has their opinion. Everybody's entitled to say what they want. That's why I fought for this country, freedom of speech. People, a big thing with veterans is, oh, how do you feel about, people kneeling for the flag? It's their right. It's their right. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. You don't know what it took to fight for this country. You don't know the blood that was shed for this country. You don't know what that flag means to some of us, especially when it's folded up in a triangle. You have no idea what that flag means to some of us. But if you want to kneel in protest of something, because you think there's something wrong with this country, which there's a lot of things wrong with this country, that's your right. I fought for it. Have fun.
You have your freedoms to do what you feel like you need to do, as long as you don't come directly after me.
Again, as long as it's not like hateful shit, like, racist shit, or, you're not trying to hurt nobody, do what you want. We live in a civilized society. You can have conversations. You get a little bit angry, that's fine. Just chill. Don't disrespect me. I will disrespect you back. But I
prefer heated conversations, as long as that's all it is heated, because that means that you're passionate about the subject.
I appreciate that, Wolf. And we would do the same. And hopefully one day we can meet. Guys, you guys don't know what it meant to meet everybody in person. It's, again, I see these guys, often, board meetings, I chat with them as much as I can, but to meet Double and actually get to interact with him, to actually, see his mannerisms, see his facial expressions, see if he is who he says he is, and see what he does. Like,
I'm deceiving. I'm not me.
It's just, that's just how I am, right? It's just what I do. And I can tell you right now, genuine. Everybody in this charity so far, to me, everybody that I met in person, we are who we say we are. It takes a little bit to get there, because obviously I think we all have that innate having to earn the trust and get comfortable, because we don't like peopling, but for the most part, like, we give each other shit all the time. As No Neck, I saw No Neck in chat. We give No Neck, a bunch of shit because he snored fucking like a damn, lions would get scared. He would fucking scare off a pack of lions, the way he was snoring. But he was a solid dude. He, in his trip to find his new home, to get to his new place of living, he stopped just to say hi to us. Get some rest, hang out with us, show his support just by showing up. Come on, guys. Like, that's fucking awesome. Don't sleep next to him, but that's fucking awesome. Queen, God bless her heart.
She got put up with my ass, bro.
Listen, getting us, food and grabbing us coffee, even though she probably didn't want to, and she's coming off, even though she's doing really good, but she's coming off like a knee surgery. Come on, guys. Everybody that showed up and was there, was.
Dude, I mean,
legit.
Like I talk about with Gemini, right? Like, you were there when he showed up.
Yeah.
From where he was when he showed up versus where he was at when he left, like, completely, his guard was completely down and he was comfortable. And that's what it's about.
Again, he had a long drive too. I would be fucking pretty pissed
Yeah.
too. If I had to drive 18 something, I would be, I'd be mad. But it's cool. It was cool, meeting everybody, veterans and non-veterans, and then having everybody come up to the booth and having, to talk to people and getting to know people. We had a guy donate $200 right then and there after talking to us, a veteran, live at the charity. I mean, at Loot Fest. It's great. Like, meeting people like that, really do want to help and actually help. And then you guys showing up here with the follows, with the subs, with the donations, with what, being involved in the community.
Right.
it's not always about money. Money obviously helps do things for people, but you guys creating this traffic here, chatting, telling people, getting involved in Discord, all that stuff. That stuff is what it's about, So I think, thank you guys. Help you guys, even though these guys push me a lot, but thank you for helping me get out of my shell and stuff like that. Being
Yeah,
here.
fucker. The only guy that made me look like I wasn't fit was Bearded. Because believe it or not, he's actually a pretty fit motherfucker. So he showed up, and there's my big ass self. I'm just a big guy. I'm not, I am, but I'm not. I'm a normal size human. I just look really big. But then Bearded shows up and he's like chiseled up, and it's like, all right, motherfucker, I see you. And he's like, in my defense, I lost 30 pounds before I came, so it's all, all the fat's gone.
I didn't lose that much,
Like,
but 30 pounds is a lot for me. If I lost 30 pounds, I'd be fucking ripped. But yeah, no. And again, I'm 235 right now. Weighed myself this morning on the scale, 235. So, but no, yeah, I like to be fit. My job requires it, even though we don't have a standard, which is don't get me started on that. But my job requires it. How can I save my partner or my coworkers if I can't get to them as fast as humanly possible and get them out of harm's way? And then obviously I have a level of training above most people. How can you get in? Well, you guys saw last Friday actually, yeah, Friday, the police funeral that we had. If you guys were here on stream, an officer, a municipal officer, got shot in the face. Didn't even get a chance to get in the fight, but there were still 2 other cops in the car with him that had to get out and get in the fight and secure the area, wait for backup, get him taken care of. Like, if I'm not fit, if I'm not ready to get into that fight and still be mentally strong to okay, he dead, call an ambulance, call for backup, return fire, make sure that dude's covered, communicate with him. That's all stuff that I've been trained to do, so I have an advantage over most normal people, but I still have to keep that sharp, right? You guys have gotten out that haven't had a job that requires you to continue to hone those skills. You get rusty. And I tell everybody at work. Yeah, it was a Newark officer, 26 years old. A 14-year-old killed him, by the way. So a kid. Like, every store, like, oh, you should join the SWAT team. Oh, I'd love it. I'm rusty. I tell everybody, I'm rusty. But then, it's like riding a bike. I get behind the gun. I start making some moves. I start doing some. I'm like, they're like, oh, you know what you're doing. I'm like, you should have seen me years ago. I used to be like a Navy SEAL back in the day. 210 pounds ripped out of my mind, doing nothing but this 24/7, 365. Yeah, no, I was locked in.
I was 185 pounds then, but that's because I needed to be a lot more mobile.
Yeah. Damn, I was bigger than you in the military. Jesus, brother.
Dude, I joined the military at 155.
It was 175 when I joined, but I'm also taller than you. But I was 175 when I joined the military.
I joined at 155, got up to 185. Then my last deployment, I got to eat the good food. We'll call it that.
Nice.
And went from 185 to 235 in 6 months.
I basically stayed the same in boot camp. I just got shredded because of all the running we were doing. Like,
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I just got shredded.
Yeah.
I mean, I came out of boot camp looking like I was part of like I just left a freaking death camp, but it's just because I had almost no fat on me.
Yeah, you're tiny wolf. I was unfortunate. I didn't get the double rations. Very little people get double rations in the Marine Corps back in the day. Now it's a little different. But the fatties just did hate life. But again, you're eating 3 meals a day, but it's calorie deficit. They lost weight. I played soccer, basically my whole life. Played football in high school. I was always like kind of like a decent athlete. I was athletic, but I was always a decent. I was never great at anything. I was just really good at stuff.
You were an athlete. That's
yeah.
That's how I am.
But So running like that, the way running like the military makes you run. Fuck.
It'll tear you up more than it hurts you.
Fuck. Well,
it'll hurt you more than it'll help you. Sorry,
guys. I'm gonna end this here. I'm gonna kick you over to Double, so Double can continue the conversation and show you guys what he's gonna be doing today. I have to go drop off my computer to my daughter, and I gotta pee really really bad. So I hope you guys enjoyed our little conversation today. Hope you guys learned you something. Hope you guys got motivated with some of the shit we said. And make sure you guys join the Discord. Just dip your toes in the conversation, whether it's just sending memes, saying hi, trying to find some new friends to game. Do something. Get involved. Be active. You're only going to be helping yourself. You're going to be helping the people that you end up interacting with, because believe it or not, everybody makes a change in other people's lives. It's okay to be not okay, and start, and don't stop. That's my words for you today. Words of the bearded. Double.
I'll let you later, buddy.
Any closing thoughts, Double?
No, just remember what we talked about. If you need to talk, reach out and talk. If you don't, find a way to channel it to make yourself better instead of hurting yourself.
Awesome. Well, guys, being that I don't have my kids for the rest of the week, I'll be streaming more often. Hopefully we can have some more good talks. Make sure you tune in next Wednesday for the Buddy Check podcast. Ted was busy and I was late, so I'm sorry, but we'll fix it next week. All right. See you guys later.
It worked out. I didn't have power till like 10:15. So
there you go. You guys take it easy.
All right, bud.
It's your show now. Come on. Go quicker. Go quicker, guys. A little faster. Yeah. Boom.
As always, guys, welcome in. Bearded, I appreciate that host, brother. Appreciate that host. Welcome in, everybody.